Welcome everybody to another Mega Drive game.
Sega.
So which one is it this time? Let's see.
Okay.
This one actually comes from a UK developer.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no Italian language.
Though, Mark, you probably haven't heard of these guys because they were kind of obscure back in the day.
Or do Mark.
The Cartoon Mavericks.
Marko's Magic Football.
Yes. Alright, time to read the story. Dwebs, you be the narrator.
The Sterling Toys Tower looked like no other toy factory.
Nah, what are you talking about? That looks totally legit to me.
Yeah.
I mean,
Man, Sterling took a blow.
I mean, come on, look at that. I mean, that looks like a perfectly happy, fun place to me. I don't know.
Yeah, it's no big deal.
What?
Within, an evil mastermind was at work. Colonel Brown, owner of Sterling Toys, had a plan.
Yes.
With the help of a crazed scientific genius, an evil substance of unique genetic qualities was engineered.
Yes, Dr. Insano is in this game, apparently.
Innocent animals were used as test subjects.
Oh, so it's like in Sonic.
Now
Yeah.
the final test was underway.
So what is the evil plan exactly?
Colonel Brown and his accomplices now had the ability to transform all life forms
Into
Yes.
what exactly?
into mutant sludge monsters.
What?
Of course.
If the Colonel could spread enough slime around the town, North Sterlington would be his.
I have several questions.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Marko came across the Colonel's workers pouring sludge into the system. Oh my god, Mark! And Mark was the main character in Zoom 11. Oh my god, level 5, you ripped this off. 0 out of 10. Settled in a pool of sludge, the ball became magical. With his new super ball, Marko could put a stop to the evil plans.
Of
I thought
course.
the slasher what affected only living things.
Colonel Brown was going down.
Oh yeah. For those who don't know, back in the 90s, this was a thing.
So basically, Akira Hino stole this game's plot, and to try and fool people into thinking it was original, he took Marko and removed the O, so he just got Mark.
Yeah, which is why it's only Mark Evans, of course. That makes sense now. There you
Yes.
go, Teo, the original in Zoom 11. Alright, so we're going to start with the tutorial level Marco's Backyard just for the sake of showing this off, because it's actually something that most people miss because they don't actually bother to check the options, because you have to actually just turn the tutorial on in the options. Basically, here's how Marco's Magic Football works. It's a side-scrolling platformer, but the unique gimmick to it is that it's all about the ball. You kill enemies by kicking your football at them, as you see right now. There you go. There are various abilities you can do. Like, for example, you can use your ball as a trampoline. Why? It's a magical ball, don't question it. Yeah, and there you go. As you saw, I just did a bicycle kick. Basically, when you press up B, you can switch between two different stats. You can either, start dribbling the ball with your feet, which, and pressing B again will allow you to do a bicycle kick. A thing to note is that the bicycle kick actually does double damage than the other attacks, so it's good to keep that in mind for bosses. And if you press up B again while you're there you go, you could start dribbling your ball in your head and try to jump for the ball upwards like I'm doing right now. So there you go. Basically, that's the main goal: to use your ball to kill enemies and defeat Colonel Brown because he wants to turn everyone into sludge monsters because that somehow equates world domination.
Yes.
You know, Teo, we have just found the new plan for the list of dumb plans: twin clones of Hitler, kidnap everyone and replace them with clones. I forgot which one the other. Which one?
The Church of the X-Men against the X-Men. Yeah. Basically, replace the Pope with Nightcrawler.
Yeah. And now we have the fourth one. Turn everybody into sludge monsters.
Of course.
Okay. Aside from that, yeah, I'm guessing both of you never even heard of this game.
Nope.
Not really, no.
That's
And
because
considering that between the options there's no it's multi-form and lacks the Italian language, I'm positive it never even came to my country.
By the way, you're probably wondering what that thing is. That's the exit thingy. There you go.
Oh.
Which
It's
is strange,
sure-
because isn't Italy just as taken with football as most of the rest of
Yeah,
Europe
in
are?
fact, it's really into it.
I'm
I
guessing.
don't know.
I'm guessing maybe.
Remember-
Well,
yeah,
remember. This developer was kind of a bit obscure.
Technology.
Maybe they didn't have the budget for Multi 5. They could only afford the Multi 4, maybe.
And then again, with back in the day, Sega Mega Drives / Genesis and NES has SNES games were barely translated, like in my country. We started doing it from the N64 era onward.
And yes, I just found it. And yes, I just found an alien.
Of course.
It gives him.
What the hell?
It gives me points, basically.
Okay.
All right, so this is the first level, Suburbia, and now we're fighting a cop.
On a bicycle.
Okay, basically, I used to have this game as a kid, so the enemies were better described in the manual. Basically, the story is that cop is after Marko because I guess Marko tends to play football where it's not allowed or something, so he just is in this incredibly slow bike, I guess. And yeah, that was a rat. The interesting thing is that we don't fight just sludge monsters. We also find normal animals. I guess they wanted more variety in the enemy design or something. All right, let's keep going then. That chick, she's our checkpoint. Basically, she takes pictures of us, and every time she does it, checkpoint.
That's a weird checkpoint. Weird way to show off a checkpoint. Oh, yeah. Okay.
So, Dwibs, since your country's responsible, would you mind explaining to us what the fuck were they smoking when they come up with this?
When was this game made?
1994, I think, or free.
Okay, so during 1994, whoever developed this were either ecstatic that the team were doing well in the league, or they were so depressed that they decided to take drugs, and that's how this game came about. What were the developers? Sorry, I've forgotten. What was the game called again, so I could do a little bit of reading up on it?
Marko's Magic Football.
So, okay, Marko's Magic.
Is it actually published by Sega?
Yeah. Our hero, by the way, kicking birds with his football.
Yeah,
amazing.
On a pole, on a pole line. Yeah. Which is not the...
Alright, to give... okay, first of all, the graphics for Mega Drive look amazing. It's like you're literally playing in a cartoon. I love that guy. Look, check what happens when I kick my ball at that guy.
Okay.
But just I have to get past the sludge thingy.
Okay.
So, yeah. They probably wonder what the guy's doing. There you go.
What the hell?
He ate it.
Yeah, but that's okay, because every time the ball is far away from you, you can just press B to make your ball magically materialize itself in right next to your feet. So it's okay. Yeah, that's basically it.
Okay, basically this game was released on the Mega Drive, the Game Gear, and the Mega CD.
Yes, the Mega CD version had music with real instruments.
I might actually listen to that music at some point.
Yeah, it's basically the same soundtrack but with real instruments. It sounds really good. However, I'm playing the Mega Drive version because this is the one I grew up with.
Plus, do you have a Mega CD?
I have an emulator on a flawless emulator on my Wii, so I could play the Mega CD version if I wanted, but whatever.
If I ever get a Mega CD, I might. To go along with my Mega Drive, I might get it. Yeah, or just I'm going to be using the European terminology for Sega consoles because...
Well, this is an European game, so...
Yes, I am from Europe, damn it.
Oh yeah, the sneakers thingy. Basically, there's these power-ups, the sneakers, and depending on the color, they do different things. And this one that I just caught makes the ball explode and kill all the enemies in the neighborhood.
Oh yeah, fun fact about Domark.
Activate switches to open doors.
Okay, fun fact about Domark.
Go ahead.
The following year after this game came out, they merged with a company called IDOS.
Oh, so now this is technically an IDOS game.
Well, on paper depends. If Sega still owns the rights, it was the publisher. It's still their franchise.
Basically, what happened? Basically, what it is there wasn't IDOS Technologies, but Simis, Big Red Games, and Domark merged to make IDOS, and that they ran for a good 14 years until they got bought by Square Enix.
By the way, Tay, you're probably wondering. Oh, never mind. He's BRB.
So it's just us two for a bit. Oh yeah, the publisher was Domark themselves.
Oh, never mind then.
So technically, IDOS do own this game. Well,
I kind of, yeah, I kind of wish. Obviously, it's not gonna happen because this game is really obscure, and I'm pretty sure it probably didn't even sell all that well. You're probably wondering how I know about this game. Basically, everybody, for those who are young, back in the day when we didn't have the internet in the 90s. We didn't really have any surefire way to know if a game was good or not. We just bought a game and we hoped for the best, you know. And I saw this game sitting on a shelf once, and the cover really looked cool because, you know, in the back cover said, "Oh, it's like playing in a cartoon and shit." And I'm like, "Oh, sure, I love cartoons, and this looks really interesting and unique, so sure." And yeah, it's a really unique platformer, definitely. And even to this day, I still haven't played a platformer quite like it because the wall concept is really unique.
So basically, the whoever is up, so the people who is up to now, if they do decide to maybe not make a full-scale revival of this, but maybe just like a little niche game of this, is Square Enix now, since they own IDOS, and they have that Square Enix collective going on now, which they're using for, and part of it is that you can use old IDOS IPs to for your games, because basically Square Enix Collective is it's like Kickstarter but Square Enix.
Alright.
So really,
you were speaking about Dweebs.
So basically, Tia, I was just saying, if the people who could make a proper game of this in its series now would be Square Enix, since they own IDOS, and that Square Enix Collective
Dweebs,
would be
Dweebs. Again, this was just only the developing studio.
No. Turns out though,
published it too.
Yeah, Dweebs just did his research. They published it too.
Oh, okay.
So see, and that this would be something the Square Enix Collective would be good for. I was just explaining to Pedro that basically the Square Enix Collective is Kickstarter for Square Enix, and part of that is that they can use is that developers want to make their projects can use IDOS IPs.
Yeah, but the only thing that came out recently was just a new Fear Effect game, which is now in development.
Okay.
All right.
Maybe I guess maybe people are just waiting for that to find out whether it's going to be successful or not.
Honestly, honestly, just considering how obscure this game is, I doubt the people at Square Enix even know this game exists. Anyway, okay. Well, actually, if there is one, if Square Enix did for some reason find this in the archives or something, if there is one developer they could get to possibly make a sequel or remake of this, it would definitely be WayForward. WayForward would definitely this is the kind of thing that fits WayForward like a glove. Like seriously, they're the perfect developer for a potential thing. Potential. I mean, I'm implying that there's potential, which there isn't. But yeah, okay. Here's an interesting thing, Dibs. They also, because I actually kind of did a little bit of research myself. Here's an interesting thing. The only thing I could find about the developers of this game is that one developer said in an interview that apparently he wasn't even sure if they actually did publish the game because he left the company before development was done.
Right.
So that's pretty interesting.
Well, now apparently they have.
Oh, by the way, Teo, you're probably thinking, wow, level 2 is already the sewer level. Well, Teo, let's say you have to get used to this because there's like 4 sewer levels in this game.
Joy. Well, with sludge monsters and everything, I should be expecting this.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
There we go. Oh, that thing. That's an extra life.
Oh, okay, wait.
Now you're probably wondering why is an ectoplasmic sphere an extra life?
So what did the heart thing did?
It replenishes a life section of mine. Like for example, I have 5 bars there. Right now I have only 3 of them. A heart replenishes 1. And of course getting 100 stars will give me an extra life too.
Okay.
Oh, here's this one. The blue sneakers turn your ball into a fucking shotgun.
What?
Of course.
I'm not even kidding.
Okay. Oh yeah, I was just gonna say.
Marko's packing heat!
There was a Master System version of this game in development.
But it was cancelled.
Yeah, it was cancelled because
Limitations.
yeah, and also even though the Master System was even to that day still a very popular system here in Europe, I guess it just wasn't worth it or something. I don't know.
I mean, they were already doing so many versions. I guess they had to sacrifice at least one. Well, it's interesting because they did make the Game Gear version, and the Game Gear is basically a handheld Master System. So, I mean, they could have just made a unified version for like a 8-bit version that works for both consoles anyway. But whatever. I guess they didn't quite understand the hardware themselves. I don't know. But yeah, now fortunately we do get a break from. Oh, there you go.
What the hell?
So now we're up against another character from Inazuma 11.
No, there's no Inazuma 11 character that even looks like that. But whatever.
I was just thought it looked a bit bulky to me, so maybe it was off that one. I don't know.
Marko, fire tornado!
So what does the can do?
Oh yeah, the cans. Basically,
Oh my god, collecting cans! Oh my god, you did that, and awesome possum too.
No, don't worry, it's nothing like that. Basically, what happens was, the more cans you get, the more bonus points you get at the end of your level. It's nothing but points, so
Okay.
unless you actually care about points, don't even bother.
I forgot. Was there something similar for Sega, Mega Drive, Genesis games to what Nintendo Power was doing with the NES, like post your high score or something?
There were various independent magazines, but there wasn't an actual official Sega magazine, at least not that I know of.
Well, there was the UK version. You know, Sonic the comic we have here in the UK.
Uh-huh.
We had some strips using the character of Marko.
Sure.
0 cans times 500 equals 12,500.
And now
Sewers.
Guns tunk.
there you go, more sewers.
Yeah.
Well, I guess technically the other one was the cellar level, so I guess it's technically not. Now it's sewers.
Yeah. Can see that.
Ah, even though you can smell video games, I can just feel the smell of poo gas.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, being a sewer, obviously this is where most of the sludge monsters that were originally animals are. So let's kill them all!
Yes.
Pedro, this actually did get a US release.
I know it did, I know.
Although it's in there, over there, it's just called Marko.
I'm playing actually the ROM I have. I think it's the US version. However, I did intentionally switch my emulator settings to use the PAL refresh rate because this is actually another common thing that this game has in common with Disney's Aladdin. Well, not Disney. Sorry, Disney's Pinocchio on the Genesis. Since the game was made by an European developer, the game was made with the PAL refresh rate in mind. You know, and because of that, when you try to play the American version, it sounds faster than it should be. It feels off.
Right.
That's an interesting thing about the Mega Drive. Most of the time, you just want to play the US ROMs because 60 frames per second and all that shit. But the problem is that the UK made games obviously were made with the lower frame rate in mind.
All right.
All right, let's pack some heat again.
Also, I have to say, the way they check not the checkpoints, but the end machines looks, they also look kind of similar to Sonic's. At least the first couple of games.
Yeah. Okay, so basically, Teo, this is your typical sewer level. It's long, and it involves a lot of climbing and everything having to do with sludge.
Yay! Well, again, I should have expected this.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, there's no ice level.
So no ice physics, I hope.
Nope.
Thank goodness, for a game like this, it would be a nightmare.
Yeah, and
the
the sprite animation is fantastic. I mean, seriously.
Oops.
Yeah, it looks or it looks even better than SNES quality.
I mean, yeah, this entire game feels like something made by Way Forward, which is why I genuinely think they would, if they, by some miracle, were offered the chance to make a remake of this.
Well, remember, Pedro, they did DuckTales Remastered for Capcom. Who knows?
No, but that's the thing, Teo. DuckTales Remastered was a remaster of one of the most famous games on the NES. That game. This is an incredibly obscure game that you yourself didn't know of until 20 minutes ago.
True.
I mean, and again, like I just said, I'm pretty sure even Square Enix themselves probably don't even know that this game exists unless they happen to randomly go search the archives.
Oh yeah, that's the thing though. Either the people who still work, either people that work at Square Enix Europe, which are who are IDOS called now, they probably either they go down to their archives and just happen to find this game, or Square Enix people from Japan just fly over and find this game or something.
Well, honestly, Leaves, and it generally speaking, for not just Square Enix but all of other companies that have multiple bases in different countries, Japan-related stuff generally tends to downright ignore the Western stuff.
Well, Square Enix is investing in the Tomb Raider franchise, though.
No. I know, but remember, that's what not boggles me, but it makes me think in a weird. It makes me not worried, but
I'll be right back. Let's go and get a drink.
Confused in a bit way, because remember, they had such high expectation for the first game, and then they outright declared it a commercial failure, even though it sold relatively well, just not their expectation.
It actually sold really well. I think it sold like 7 million units or something.
I guess for the rest of it, and remember, they were willing to. They struck that deal with Microsoft for the sequel, which inevitably detracted some sales, no matter how the game will perform.
Before I go get my drink, the whole it didn't live up to our expectations. Was that during the time where Square Enix was still run by that guy who quit?
Yes.
I forgot his name now.
Yoshiwada.
Fortunately,
now we have Yosuke Matsuda in charge, and this guy actually is reasonable with sales expectations.
Rise of the Tomb Raider on PS4, and I'm looking forward to that. See new things for the PS4 version, which I'm looking forward to.
See, there you go. I told you. See, here's the thing. There's another thing. Not only is that thing no longer an Xbox One exclusive. Think about this. By the time the PS4 version comes out, it's already completely and fully patched anyway. So so if anything, you'll have all of the patches already on disc. So if anything, it kind of makes the PS4 version kind of better when you think about it.
Yeah. So Pedro, if you're doing Tomb Raider 2013, can I do Rise of the Tomb Raider?
By all means.
All right. Now I'll be right back.
I still think you should. I still think you should do the reboot yourself, since you're the Tomb Raider fan anyway.
Not of the core design games though.
Well, okay. Well, I do. Like I said, I bought the definitive edition on my PS4, so I can do it. For the sake of the fans of that reboot, I'm playing the definitive edition, so don't complain.
Okay. Now I'm definitely going to be right back because I am very thirsty.
Sure.
All right.
I'm thirsty too.
But yeah, again, my problem, Pedro. That's not a problem. I honestly don't really mind the Tomb Raider franchise in general. But the fact is, again, I'm positively thinking that the marketing campaign, with the initial reaction being that negative due to being, even though timed, Microsoft exclusive, sets off a lot of fans, and that consequentially will affect negatively the game in the long run. Of course, it probably still will sold a lot on the PS4, because that's where Tomb Raider, but the PlayStation is where Tomb Raider originally started and everything. But I think the marketing campaign damaged on the long run.
Yeah, the whole Xbox One exclusive deal was a complete mistake, because by this point most people have even forgotten about that game.
Yeah.
But there's also that game that drew the game ended up sucking, but it was still a bet on a new Western IP, Murdered Soul Suspect. You've heard of that game?
Yes.
There's of course Life is Strange.
wanted to play it.
There's also Life is Strange, which is a Western. There's plenty of Square Enix published
Yes,
Western
like
stuff.
Mindjack.
Yeah. I don't see the whole Square doesn't care about Western stuff, honestly.
No, it's not about Square Enix doesn't care. It's about Square of Japan not really minding what Square of Europe and America does.
As long as they're making money, it's fine.
Yeah, that's the mentality. It's the same thing for companies like Capcom. And, well, Konami, which now has cut everything from everything. Oh, god damn. But what am I talking about? Konami didn't even bother with Japan itself because they fired even the Dance Dance Revolution of team development. Jesus.
Okay. So, one more checkpoint.
Yay.
So yeah, we also have sludge dinosaurs. I wonder what animal
Of
that
course.
thing was before it got turned into a monster.
Probably a lizard.
Hope, I guess. Alright.
You know what this reminds me, considering the atmosphere, the tone, and everything? Of course, with better graphics and everything. It reminds me a lot of Booger Man.
Alright. Did I miss anything?
Not really, no.
More sewering with.
Okay.
And we all know sewering is your absolute favoritist thing, Tio.
Yeah, because nothing screams you back like enjoyment in gameplay than walking into someone else's crap.
What I find interesting is that there's not even any crap here, just sludge.
This is, I guess, G-rated crap.
Mm-hmm. That or the sludge turn the actual crap into sludge crap.
All right.
So you have
The
to
music is nice, but
yeah. You also have to wonder, how did Colonel Brown got the budget to actually create this project of a potion that turns everything into a sludge monster?
Kickstarter.
I guess. Could you imagine what was written in the Kickstarter page? Hey guys, I got this super awesome idea.
Reach this amount for the stretch goal of a sludge dinosaur.
Okay. So, Duz, what do you think of the concept of the game? A side scroller where your weapon is a football?
Honestly, yeah, I'm surprised I didn't know this game existed.
Well, no, trust me, Duz, don't feel bad. I myself wouldn't found this game by complete accident. So don't worry, trust me.
It's a shame because for a platformer, the way you're using your balls, your adventures is really, really creative.
Yeah, this game is really creative about. It's an incredibly unique idea that I really wish this game would have had sequels because there's so much potential that they could do with sequels.
Yay!
Alright, so we'll see you for part 2.
Or soaring.
But first, hold on, Duz, we first have to hear the level clear music.
The video's already finished for me.
Oh really? Oh, never mind. I forgot about my problem with the thing. Yeah, I forgot to tell you guys to cut me in. Whatever. Okay, everybody. That's okay. The video's almost over for me too. Anyway, everybody, that was part 1 of Marko. So see you for the next part.
See ya.
Yeah.